Hey, Taylor here, talking a little more about the multi-sling. I'd like to show the spar anchor configuration. Depending on which way I want to lean or which way I want to choke on the stem, that's how I want to start running my rope. So if I want to lean to the right here, I'm going to start my rope from the right, if that makes sense. You'll see in a minute. So I've got the eye of my climbing line. I pass that through the ring and then around the spar here, and then I just pull up as much, how should I say this, pull through enough rope so that I've got a long enough tail to retrieve this wherever that may be, if I'm going down the spar 10 feet or 16 feet or 40 feet. So it's real easy to just pull through enough rope to make this tail long enough so that you can retrieve it when you're on the ground or at your next workstation. So I've got enough to get to the ground there. So I'm going to create a bridge here with a 6-coil prusik, and I'm going to tie this the old-fashioned way. Okay, so I just need to dress this up, and I'm going to finish it off by tying this leg back to the ring. This is 130 centimeter multi-sling. You need that extra length to be able to do this. So I'll use a scaffold knot. Tie, dress, and set that. So now you can see I've created a choker system with a ring here instead of a carabiner, something that can possibly load funny. And this is a closed system here, so it's not going to roll out potentially like maybe a Blake's hitch would, or if I didn't close that off. I'll put a stopper knot below it here. Alpine butterfly. So now I would probably want to add a figure 8 or something on the tail of my line, because we don't just want to hang on a prusik all by itself. Something else we can do here, now I'm in a position to descend or work in this area. I've got a small ring loop here, and I can prusik this below this ring and above my friction hitch. Then I can add a revolver into it. DMM revolver. You notice it doesn't quite fit on that ring, but if I give the gate just a little twist, it drops in there kind of nice, and I've got a captive eye revolver basically. And I can take the tail of my climbing line now and clip it into that revolver. And what that does is, as I descend, I can control the friction on the hitch with my right hand, and I've got a 2-to-1 hauling system if I need to get back up. I'll move this up a little bit. It might be out of frame, but just to show you what's possible here with the small ring loop. So here I've got my friction hitch. I've got my tail redirected through the revolver, and I can sit back on that, make sure that's loaded. My hitch is holding there. Now I can descend and then reascend with a 2-to-1. Make sure that hitch grabs, and I'll lanyard in again. One of the nice things about using the multi-saver like this, oops, I said multi-saver, but I meant to say multi-sling, is that I can easily adjust the length of my tail here for retrieval. If I'm up on the top part of the spar and I'm just chunking out 4-foot pieces or whatever I'm doing. I can use a relatively short length of tail here, but maybe I've got 40 foot of spar left and we're just gonna fell it. It's easy for me to create a longer tail so that I can descend all the way to the ground. I could leave this stopper knot in if I wanted to. I'll untie it. I'm bucked in. I just generate enough slack here to generate a longer tail. So now I've got my 20 feet or so I need to get to the ground. I'll put my stopper knot in again so we know that hitch isn't going to move. Now if I'm descending to my next workstation, I want to take this ring loop with me. I don't want to leave it here because it binds up and I can't retrieve the system. It won't slide back down the spar because this tends to block it from opening up. Smooth bark trees, it's not quite an issue. But another interesting thing here is I can create a little more friction by using both of these hitches and my hand on the tail of the rope here, and I'll show you how that works. Then on the way, if I do need to reascend for some reason, I can always shove the ring loop up a little bit and get that 2-to-1, shove it up again. I'll do that here. I'll descend a little ways and then I'll ascend that way. So with my hand on the tail, I'll pull the ring loop into the top of my prusik, and now with some pressure here and both of these prusiks sharing the load, I can descend without them binding up. Plus I've still got good control with my brake hand. And that's how I can reascend as well.